Okay, yeah, everybody's going to talk about the beef between Garrett and First Killer. Everybody's going to want to know beef between FaZe and NRG. What do I think? I'm not going to go into too much on that because I think it's kind of all been resolved already. And it's kind of already been talked about enough. But all I do want to say is that I love the rivalries that stuff like that brings. So yeah, that was good. That was cool to see. I thought that initially some people didn't think it was cool of Garrett to tweet they didn't think that it was cool of him to tweet the in-game chat. Honestly, I think that's perfectly fine. I don't see why people have a problem with that. I don't know. I think that's fine. I also didn't think that anything that was said in the in-game chat was wrong. Yeah, go ahead. Call people sad and cringe. Who cares? Who cares? It's fine. But it did go too far. I will say that it did go too far. There's no need to go into detail on that, but it did go too far. Initially, when I saw the first Garrett tweet, I retweeted it. I saw the first Killer tweet, I retweeted that. I retweeted a couple of Rlcs tweets. Then it went too far, and I was like, okay, nah, this has definitely crossed the line, and I undid the retweets. I was like, nope, those tweets are getting deleted, so I'll just undo those retweets. So that's my TLDR on what happened. But yeah, it's cool to see that the teams in North America are getting spicy with it. I like that. The only other thing I do want to mention on this, though, is that I thought if NRG, who changed cars? Did Justin change to the Merc? Did someone else change car as well? I can't remember. When NRG changed cars, I thought that was like a massive L for them. Only Justin. I thought that was like them saying, to me that just seems like them saying, that's like pre-copium to me. That's what it looks like. That was like pre-copium. Because it's kind of like them saying, look how little we care, you beat us, yeah, but we weren't even trying, it's like pre-copium, but then they ended up winning the game anyway. Like, I think they should have just kept the same cars, try-harded, and maybe they would have got the win. But yeah, I like the beef though. The beef is cool. Gotta know where the limit is, of course, but it did go too far eventually, and apologies have been said. Everybody's cool. There you go. But yeah, the second series didn't make any sense. It looks like coming out of the first beef that they had, FaZe must have been pretty tilted because NRG were the team who were winning overtimes and they were the team who were winning games, even though Justin's in the mark. And yeah, he scored one flip reset goal, but I thought overall his mark play didn't look as good as his Octane play, so he probably should have stayed in the Octane. But yeah, anytime a team does this, anytime that a player, I'm not just trying to say this is only a Justin thing, I've seen this a lot in the past. Whenever a player does that, it always seems to me, well, there's two things that could be going on. I've seen it a couple of times in 1v1 where somebody will switch to a random car and actually win. And I think it can have there are cases where it can have a negative effect on the opponent's focus. If you change to a clown car, think about Lethimer beating First Killer in ones. I think maybe Azral's done it a couple of times, winning in a clown car. It can, it can be used as a mind game against your opponent. But in this context, it didn't look like that at all. It definitely just looked like pre-copium to me. That's just my opinion. I personally have nothing against other cars being used though. But yeah, didn't Justin tweet about it? Didn't he tweet what should I use, Merc or something else? He asked everybody what should he play. That it was because of that I thought, what is he doing? Just rock up in the Merc, don't ask. Just show up in the Merc in the next game and be like, oh, it's on. I'm gonna smash you in the Merc. I'm gonna show you what's up. They should have tweeted something like, these guys are garbage. It's time to bring out the Merc. You should have just he should have trash talked on Twitter, and then brought the Merc out. And I would have had a totally different it would have had a totally different feel if Justin just talked trash on Twitter, said these guys are they're so overrated. I'm gonna beat them in the Merc, and then pull the Merc out. instead of just saying, what car should I use? And in that case, it just seems like, oh, this guy just doesn't care. Didn't he tweet out as well that he can't be bothered and he just wants to go play Valorant? Yeah, nah, in this context, it was lame. It was just a total pre-copium move. But you can actually have situations where it's a power move to change car, like that. This wasn't one of them, in my opinion. He probably just wanted the impressions. He probably just wanted the impressions. Oh no, Blizzle89 next to 24-month Prime, I appreciate it, man. He didn't care. Type 1 in chat if you guys think Justin didn't care about this series. After losing the first series. Type 1 in chat if you think Justin didn't care about the other two. A lot of twos. Everybody's saying 2, actually. I thought more people would say 1. Especially because he literally tweeted himself that he didn't care anymore. Didn't he? Didn't he tweet like, I can't be bothered, let's go play Valorant, at Garrett, at Squishy? Which also, like, I'm a big Justin fan. I think he's a really cool guy. I've met him lots of times. I really like him. And I rooted for him at Season 5, rooted for him at Season 8. You know, I've rooted for him in every grand final he's ever played at Rlcs. I'm a big Justin fan. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to call out when I think he messes up. And I think that's like one of the lamest things that he can do while playing in a grand final in front of 100,000 viewers who all want to be you, like Justin. Every Energy are the most popular team. He's maybe the most popular player on that team because every time I see him go live, his viewers absolutely pop off. Maybe not on YouTube. I think on YouTube Squishy's more popular, but on Twitch, I think Justin, you know, in the chat, I think Justin is probably I think he's the most popular player. The whole chat wants to be you, bro. Whole chat wants to be you. They all want to have what you have. They all want to have this chance to play in a grand final and just play Rocket League for a living. You're living the dream. You're living the dream that all the fans want. So you have to, like, you know, even if it isn't what you really want, because what you really want is LANs, you still have to have perspective. You have to have, you know, you have to have the bigger picture in mind. And it's really, I think, just ungrateful to act as if you aren't. It's ungrateful to, like, not just the situation he's in, but ungrateful to all the fans who are watching. 100,000, I think, people watching. Super ungrateful to act as if you don't care about a grand final, and I don't back that at all, from any player. So I thought that was a shame to see, and I hope that I hope he thinks about that and grows from that mistake, in my opinion. Disrespecting the GOAT unfollowed. Yeah. Probably somebody right now. Probably somebody. But yeah, I'll say again, I think that there are situations where you can bring out like a mark as a power move and use it as a mind game to distract your opponent. This didn't seem like one of them. This seemed like a I don't care what happens kind of move, combined with the tweets I was seeing. I don't know. It just seemed like you didn't care. And that's ungrateful. Plus, there's a whole lot of money on the line, isn't there? Like 30k for the winner. Yeah, they're playing a series for 10 grand right now. You win, you get an extra 10 grand. And I know money ain't everything, but look, it's definitely 10 grand's a lot of money to some people. If you really don't care about the prize money, just go win it and then donate it or something. That's a lot of money to someone. That's a lot of money to me. Like, if you don't want it, if you don't want the prize money, just go give it to charity after you win. But I know these guys are making a lot of money. It's still a lot of money though. So the argument of, that's nothing, you know, 10k, they don't care about the money, like, doesn't work. It doesn't work here. But that's that's like what I really think is important to talk about with the FaZe NRG quote unquote drama. It's not the actual content of the drama, because let's be honest, NA banter is pretty weak. You know, once again, somebody needs to be coaching these guys on proper roasts, because all I saw was quite weak. Yeah, we definitely need to work on that. But, you know, the content of the drama is not all that important. It's more like the bigger picture of the drama that's important. We need to remember how lucky we are to be able to be a part of the RLCS. Casters, players, everybody. This is an amazing opportunity, and no matter how successful you are, no matter, well, I can relate to it from a success standpoint. No matter how successful I am, I still try not to lose the context of, you know, that bigger picture I was talking about earlier. I do love cringe plus sad is very funny though. I like cringe plus sad is a great response. It never unironically though. But yeah, I want to see NRG cared. You know, I want them to just. I don't know. I see a lot. I see Garrett caring quite a lot. He seems like he cares quite a lot in the face cams. I just want to see the whole team care. I want to see them really go for it. Bring their A game to Sweden. I don't want them to show up in Sweden and be like, we're happy to be here. Nah, they've got to shoot for the win. Didn't Squishy say in his interview that they're happy to be in the final? Nah, you got to shoot for the win. Win or nothing. Win or go home. You know, they're so successful, they should want nothing less than a win. Why are they like acting as if they just want to go play Valorant and play the Merc as soon as a challenge comes along? Where's the fight? Feel like Justin has burnout issues? Didn't he? Well, he did say before off season, and this is something that I think is perfectly fine and makes sense. He did say before the off season that he was demotivated by the lack of LANs, but there is a LAN at the end of all this. This is qualification for a LAN. And, you know, yeah, making a grand final puts you in a good standing for it. Let's look at the NA rankings. You know, making a grand final is nice. Gives you 250 points, so you got to finish top 5. But there's 4 teams who are 100 points behind that. 2 teams are 50 points behind that. All it takes is one bad Swiss from NRG, and they're here. You know, maybe one bad day. What if Squishy's internet DCs? Then they only get 110 points. What if they, like, finish 9th the next time? One bad day, they're 9th, then they have 360 points. 2 of these teams finish, you know, on 200. They're on 350. You know, they'd be right behind them. Maybe Space Station and FaZe are ahead of them. Maybe Envy win. It's not inconceivable that NRG, like, are 5th or 6th after the next event. Like, they've got to be. You have to fight for every single point in this format. Top 5 is really, really brutal. So that was the one thing, the one kind of mentality that I was surprised to hear. You know, I didn't think NRG would be happy with grand final. I thought they'd be happy with nothing less than wins. I'd expect nothing less from Space Station, NRG, FaZe, and Envy. I'd expect grand final to be not acceptable. I'd expect winning to be the only acceptable outcome from all these teams. That's like the mentality that I would expect to hear. You know, the win is the only thing that they want. That's the only thing that they're happy with. You know, maybe the other teams are less consistently making those deep runs. Could be, you know, you want to be realistic and shoot for semis or something, but what happens if there's a tie for 5th? I think that they play a tiebreaker, but I'm not 100% sure, so we'll have to wait and see. NA is around 4 times more hype than EU right now. I feel like only NA fans say that. So, okay. You know that meme format where it's the dude on the left who's like going crazy, the little skinny dude who's going crazy and he's speaking a million words a minute, like pointing at the camera. Then on the right is just that super buff, jacked, rip guy. You know, he's just huge with a massive jawline. Like, whenever I see somebody say something like, wow, NA is so much more hype than EU, I just picture them, like, in my head, they're the little dude on the left who's trying to be intimidating. And then I just see the Chad, like, EU Rocket League enjoyer on the right, the like, buff guy with the huge jaw, who's just like, all he cares about is good Rocket League. He doesn't care what region it's in. Average Rocket League enjoyer, and it's just a picture of that guy then. Average NA fan, and just a picture of the little dude. He's like, EU sucks. NA's so much better. Mechanical. You know, can you guys imagine? Like, I know all of the First Touch guys, I know that all of the NA scene, they don't want to hear any word, they don't want to hear any chat about SMAD, but can you imagine what would have happened? Like, if the SMAD results, I don't know if you can even search it. I don't know what it's called on this, hold on. What's it called on this? Can you imagine if it was the other way round? If NA were 6 teams on top, how much trash would have been talked? Can you guys imagine? Like, if this was 6 NA teams on top and 6 EU teams on bottom, it's literally all we would hear about. You would see this screenshot posted everywhere, every single day. Like, that's all we would hear. Do you want to know why you don't see this screenshot everywhere? When EU's on top, do you want to know why this isn't literally posted all over the place? I'll tell you why. It's because we don't like punching down. In Europe, it just feels like we're punching down. Even right now, I'm kind of uncomfortable showing this because it's like punching down. Like, I don't know. We don't do that. So obviously if NA were on top, they would, you know, they'd be linking this all over the place and nobody would think that that's inappropriate, but it would be kind of like, if we just talked about this too much, then it would kind of be low-key inappropriate because it's like punching down. So that's why we don't do that. It's just not fair. I mean, they didn't have a chance. What's up, Jarby? This is cringe plus sad. Oh no. TBH, I don't think anyone would use SMAD in an argument, lol. Listen, when NRG and BDS scrimmed, and I think the scrim score was like 5-3 or something, I don't remember. I think it was 5-3 in a scrim to NRG. Didn't they make it like a segment on, didn't the First Touch boys make it a segment on their podcast? Scrims. They made scrims a segment. They talked about scrims as if that tells us anything. And then me and Smellsworth and Psionics, we put on this actual event for prize money. I mean, I'm not going to try and show this scoreboard again because I know it's embarrassing for NA, but just look at the lineup here. Look at the lineup of players that we managed to persuade to play cross-region online. Look at this. Stacked. It's incredible. It's super stacked. You know, we managed to get all this to happen. And now they're like, oh yeah, but it doesn't matter. Listen, the same people who are saying that doesn't matter were the ones saying that a scrim matter. Scrims matter. All I saw so many times in my chat after NRG scrim BDS, and I think NRG won 5-3 in scrims. I went live that day or the day after, and my whole chat's just like, oh, what are your thoughts on the scrims? Do you think that this is clear evidence that NRG are just the best team and that NA is just a level above? And I'm like, no. I think it's really interesting though. It's really cool to see that content out there. Sabotage. Leave Dazzard alone, man. What is Jack doing to get timed out? I don't know what he's doing. I don't have any access to these comments. Oh man. This is rough. Oh yeah, he's spamming caps. Jack, stop it, man. Wet Beef, thanks for the 2-month tier 1. I appreciate it, man. But so okay, have you guys seen this yet? By the way, off topic. Well, changing topic. Have you guys seen the world's region spots? This is going to be the spiciest column in the entire RLCS Wikipedia page. Rankings, world's region spots. This might actually help people who don't understand how this works. Come to a proper understanding of it. Look at this. These are the teams at the majors. One Asia team. APAC means Asia Pacific. Oh, look at you on top again. Jack, you're trying to get timed out. Look how many caps there are. Stop the caps. You're just going to get nightbotted. Turbo has a very, very good argument there. Very, very good argument. But, okay, so there's going to be 5 teams from EU, 5 NA, 2 OCE, 2 SAM, 1 Middle East, North Africa, and 1 Asia Pacific at every major. Do you see EU1, NA1? This doesn't refer, here it refers to seeding going into the event. So if BDS win the fall regionals for EU, they'll be EU1. If FaZe keep winning NA, they'll be NA1. But do I have Epic Pen? I don't know if I do. If I could draw on my screen, that would be fantastic, but I don't think I can. So let's say that BDS don't win the first major. Let's say that Envy win the first major because it's home advantage for Turbo in Sweden. Turbo Pulsa knows how to play under those harsh conditions in the freezing cold with no sunlight. So let's say Envy qualified to the LAN as third seed from NA. Maybe it's FaZe, NRG, Envy, you know, something like that. And then they win the fall major. So it wouldn't say NA3 in this box here for fall major. It would say NA1. Because this is referring to seeding here, going into the event. But when it's in these columns, it will refer to the total, the finishing position. So Envy would be the NA1 team for the fall major, the best performing team at the fall major for America if they win. And then maybe, like, let's say it's BDS second, and then some other EU team in the semis, and NRG in the semis, that would be NA2. And then maybe in the winter major, an EU team wins and an NA team comes second. That would mean that NA1, the best performing team in the fall major, is first. Then the best performing team in the winter major is second. So average finish for NA1 would be 1.5. Does that make sense? Do you guys understand so far? So NA1 in this list, the best performing team at the NA major, or I mean at the fall and winter majors, this would be a whatever points you get for first and second. That's how many points that this would be. You guys still don't understand? This is tough. This is tough, right? Hold on. We can do this. We can do this together. I'll explain. Let me find I think I have this on a spreadsheet somewhere. Jack, don't even talk trash. It was a great explanation. Right. What have we got? Fall major, winter major, spring major. Right, guys, who wins fall major? We're going to get a bit of chat interaction here. Who wins fall major? What team? We need to come to an agreement. I need you all to come to an agreement. What have I done? Wait. Why are you all so ridiculous, man? I don't think I saw. Okay. Let's just say Envy win. Spring major. Okay? If Envy win the spring major, what would that be from these options? Which one of these options would that be? You've got EU 1 through 5, NA 1 through 5. What would that be? If Envy win the spring major... Wait, did I write spring? I meant to write fall. Fall major. If Envy win the fall. Yes, they would be NA1. Because they're the #1 performing team from North America at that major. NA1. Who comes second at the fall major, guys? Who comes second? Let's just say BDS. They would be EU1. Does this make sense so far? We'll do a couple more. Okay, maybe who comes third? Let's just say that Vitality come third, just to switch it up a little bit. EU2. And then maybe NA's NRG come third as well, because it's actually 2 third place teams for the fall major, I believe. Let me load up the format. I think it's going to be 2 thirds. Yeah, here. So this is the fall major. There's first, second, then there's 2 thirds because like 2 third places because it's semi-finals. And the points allocation is as follows: first place 601, second place 500, third, fourth both 400. Everybody else in the top 8 300. So that's our fall major standings. NA1, EU1, and then EU2, NA2. Winter major, let's say that... Who wins winter major? Who do you guys think? And yeah, I'm explaining right now how you unlock extra world spots. That's what I'm explaining. NRG. Okay. Guys, we said that NA1 is equal to Envy here. Wait a minute, I need to do like bigger text or something. This is too small. There we go. If this is Envy, but NRG win in the Winter Major, what is this? What is NRG out of these options? What is NRG? We said that this was Envy and this is NRG, and NRG are NA2. So if they win the Winter Major, what would we turn this into? So many people saying NA2. You don't follow. They'd be NA1, because they're the best performing NA team at the Winter Major. If they win it, they're the best performing team, so they're NA1. And then let's say that it's another NA team in the final. I know this is getting super ridiculous now, as if that's ever going to happen, but you know, bear with me. Then maybe we have another EU team in this in third place. That would be EU1. Do you see? Because it's the highest finishing EU team. This is first, second, third, fourth, etc. And maybe we have another NA team, NA3. Let's do that. Then Spring Major back over to EU winning. And then we have EU2, EU3. EU just annihilated NA in this major. Man, it wasn't even close. So let's say that happens. This is a bit more realistic, of course, than this. Back to EU winning. So let's add up the points. So let's see what the top performing NA team got. That's too bright. So this is NA1, the best performing NA team across 3 majors, got first, fourth. So in the fall, this is the fall split major. First place gets 601 points. So NA1 have 601 points. Then let's look at the winter major. Let's see what they got. Oh, they got 701 for finishing first. So this is 601 plus 701. And then in the spring one, they got fourth. So let's see what that is. Fourth place, 440. So we'll add 440 on there. There you go. NA's top seed, 1742. Compare that to EU's top seed across 3 events, who's here. So they get second in the fall major. Let's see what that is. Fall major. Wait, did I do the wrong one for NA? Oh, I think I clicked on the wrong one for NA. That was winter. Yeah, you guys are right. No, they got 500 for this one. Scuffed. There we go, fixed. Okay, back to EU. Actually, we'll just do it in reverse. So EU, they won the spring majors. That's 801 because this is spring. So they would get 801 plus. What did we have them? Okay, they came third in the winter major. What's third? This is winter. Third is 520. And then we had them finishing second in the fall major. 500. So there you go. If this exact scenario happened, the top seed would be EU. Do you guys see that? So EU would be the top seed for Worlds, because overall the best performing EU team outperformed the best performing NA team. Even if NA wins 2 majors, EU's still better. Exactly. So does that make a bit more sense now? You see how the teams are going to be compared across. Even if these 2 teams that win for North America are totally different teams, even if it's Envy here, NRG here, even if this is like, Vitality, this is KC, this is BDS, it's combined. It's like a regional thing. Why are the majors pointed differently? Said like a true NA fan, salty that in our simulation the spring major which EU won was worth more. But no, it is a good question. They're worth different points because as you get closer to the Worlds event, which is after spring, the events are worth more. Let's calculate EU2. So EU2 is here. Actually, we need to add another list because EU2 is so bad that they didn't even finish In the Winter Major, EU2 finished 5th. So EU2 is here, here, and here. So they're playing a totally different game. So Fall Split, they got 3rd. Didn't they? Yeah, they got 3rd. 400. So it's 400 plus Winter Split 5th. So let's go. I'm just going to open up Winter Split and Fall Split here. So we have all 3. We have to actually click this button. They're so far down here. 380. Washed. And then they came 2nd to the Spring Major. 700. So yeah, EU2 would be 1480. Compared to, let's see if NA2 came 2nd here, then they would be this, this, and this. So they would be 4th at the Fall Major. This is my Fall Major tab. 400 for 4th. And then Winter Major, they're 2nd. This is my Winter Major tab up here. 600. And then Spring Major, they're 5th. This is my Spring Major tab. 5th place. 420. Nice. And yeah, once again, NA just not good enough. EU wins again. Oh dear. We'll put NA3 here, give NA a break. We'll go EU3. And then we've got EU3 here, and then NA3. Let's see who won EU3 or NA3. We'll do NA3 first. They finished here, here, and here. So they got 5th in Fall. That's 300. And then they got 4th in Winter. That's 440. And then they got 6th in Spring. Why did they even bother? Shouldn't even have bothered. Then EU3 in this simulation, they got 6th at the Fall and Winter, which is 300, 380. So let's do equals 300 plus 380 plus. They got 3rd in the Spring, which is 600 points. Oh my goodness, NA once again have just been clapped. It's just a clear regional difference here. Even in the simulation, when we gave NA the advantage in 2 majors, they still suck so much. Oh my goodness. The funny thing is, I did a couple of simulations like this for SMAD to make sure that the format was working. I did a couple of really, really crazy simulations to see what would happen tiebreaker-wise or like playoff-wise if one region was dominating. But not even any of this crazy simulations that I did were as one-sided as the actual event, because we assumed that NA were going to at least have one team that were winning more than they lose. Okay, but does this type 7 in chat if this has helped you understand how the standings of all 3 majors are going to decide which region gets spots and how. Hey, I'm delighted to see a lot of 7s. I'm glad to be of assistance, but obviously it'll be spicy outside of the top 8 as well, because this is the ranking, the world's region spots rankings. The top 8, as you can see with this like dark turquoise color, the top 8 are the teams that auto qualify to Worlds. So let's look at the Worlds tab. There's Wildcard, and then there's Group Stage. So Wildcard is a 16-team event, and as far as I know, those spots are already confirmed. So every region will be in the Wildcard no matter what. But in the actual event itself, there will be 8 teams auto-qualified in. Oh yeah, here it is. So here's the page. So you want to click on Finals Qualification. You can see that there's 8 Worlds region spots who automatically qualify. That's what we were just explaining here. So the 8 best performing regions in the 8 best performing regional teams throughout the majors will qualify automatically to Worlds, top 8. Then the next 16 teams will be 3 from NA, 3 from Europe, 2 from OCE, 2 from SAM, 1 from Asia North, 1 from Asia South, 2 from Middle East, North Africa, and then 2 from Sub-Saharan Africa? Yeah. So there'll be 2 Africa, 2 MENA, 2 APAC, 2 SAM, 2 OCE, 3 EU. So if you want to wonder what is the maximum amount of teams from any region that can qualify to Worlds, all you have to do is look at how many teams from that region are in the majors. So in the case of Europe, it's 5. Now, if all 5 of those European teams who qualify for majors, if the European 5 teams for all 3 majors average 8th place or better every single time, then all 5 of those spots, all 5 of those regional allocations will be a top 8 average. So it would be EU 1, 2, 3, 4, and then maybe it's like EU 4, EU 5, you know? Something like that. So if that was your top 8, we would have 5 EU teams, 3 North America. And that wouldn't actually take anything away from the wildcard. So even if 5 of these spots for World's automatic qualification were all Europe, and you're wondering, okay, what happens to these wildcard spots? Well, actually, that would just be EU 6, 7, and 8. So there would be 3 more. So the maximum amount of spots that any region can get to Worlds, for Europe and America, it's 5 it's 8, sorry, because they have 5 they have 5 spots for the majors. If all 5 finish top 8 on average, you add in their wildcard, 8. You wouldn't count wildcard as Worlds, so it's 6. Well, once again, Jack, you're completely wrong. It's still 8, because out of the wildcard, 8 teams will qualify to Worlds. 8 teams go from wildcard to the Worlds. So out of these 16 teams, all 3 European teams could be in the top 8. Then they would go and join the other 5. Like if we're imagining that 5 of the auto qualification spots are Europe, and then Europe 6, 7, and 8 here all finish in the top 8 of the wildcard, that's 8 European teams at Worlds. Half of the European teams would be at Worlds. But yeah, top 8 from wildcard goes to Worlds. So Worlds will be 16 teams. It'll be the 8 auto qualified and the top 8 from the wildcards. Even if every EU and NA team makes it through the wildcard, there will still be 2 spots, guaranteed 2 spots for the other regions to make top 16 of Worlds. Even if EU and NA do dominate, you'll get at least 2 teams. I don't think NA and EU will dominate that much, though. I don't think that it'll be like if we're talking EU 6, 7, 8. I don't think they would all beat every other region team. As for other regions, so EU and NA are the same because they have 5 spots for majors and they have 3 spots for wildcard locked in. So the most that you can get to Worlds from EU or NA is 8 each. The minimum is still 0 though. Like you could have no NA teams at Worlds if if NA just flop in the majors and they maybe only get 1 or maybe they get no spots in the top 8, and then all 3 teams. It's possible that 0 go Worlds. But OCE and SAM are also the same because they have 2 spots for major each, and they have 2 spots in the wildcard each. That means that the most OCE or SAM teams that could make Worlds would be 4, because you just add how many spots they have in the major plus how many spots they have in the wildcard. Because if both the OCE teams average top 8, they qualify automatically. And then if both of the OCE teams who get in, it would be OCE 3-4. If they qualify from wildcard to Worlds, you'd have 4 teams. For MENA, the maximum amount of MENA teams that you can have in Worlds is 3, because they have 1 spot in the majors. And if that one MENA team if the MENA team that qualifies for each major, maybe it's Sandrock every time, maybe it's 3 different teams, if they average a top 8 between their 3 finishes, then MENA will get an automatic qualification to Worlds. For example, let's say that 7th place in the first event is Sandrock, and the second event is Falcons, and then in the third event is the Ultimates. So it's 3 totally different teams from Middle East. It wouldn't matter. It would still be MENA 1, or it would just be MENA because they don't have 1, 2, 3. They're just MENA. Even though it's 3 different teams, MENA would still get that 7th place. So yeah, teams from like the minor regions can work together. Same thing for OCE. Let's say Renegades finish 7th or 8th of the first one, then ground 0 at the second one. That would mean that OCE 1 would have 7th place for the automatic qualification. And of course they would be battling within their region for that one spot, because the OCE one spot goes to whichever OCE team finishes the season with the most points. So maybe Renegades, get 7th twice, but then Ground Zero finish 4th and take that spot away. Maybe Renegades have put in all the work. And wait, why is that the wrong color? What have I done? There we go. Then Ground Zero come in at the last second and steal away that OCE one spot by having one good finish, because if they beat Renegades in total points, but they've worked together to get an auto qualification spot for OCE, you still only get one. How, if regions like NA and EU can feasibly send 0 teams if they flop hard, how can it be that other regions have hard caps on how many they can send? Well, obviously the EU and NA have dominated international competition. That's why they've been given more spots. OCE and SAM have been more established than MENA and Asia and South Africa, so they've been given more spots as well. But, if MENA or Asia or South Africa crush it this season, I'm sure that they'd be allocated more spots for next season. If Sandrock or one of the Middle East teams literally wins all the majors and wins Worlds, then Middle East next season would probably have 3 or 4 spots in this. I don't know exactly, but you have to just wait and see. But yeah, any other questions? Because that's my best explanation. Also, Hidukwa, thanks for the 3-month prime. APAC and MENA has less chance to win this way. I think that they've got a good chance. So, no, Turbo, stop trolling, man. If it was so obviously majors need to be seeded like this. They need to just be set spots. You just have to guess who to send, because we've not had international competition for 2 years. Outside of SMAD, and can you really call that competition? It's more like a slaughter. So we've not had international, true international competition between 2 major regions in 2 years. So you just have to do this. But then at the end of the season, it's flex. It's if a team does really well, if the MENA team finishes top 8, boom, MENA have got an automatic qualification spot, and now we've got a bonus Middle East team in the wild card. This would be MENA 2. If the MENA 1 team is Worlds auto qualified, then these 2 teams here would be MENA 2 and 3. So it's in the best interest of the region to put their best team in the best position possible. Whereas previously in others, if the RLCS X format was used in this season, and there's only one MENA team going, the other teams in the region probably wouldn't want to scrim that team, because they want that team to suck. Because if this team does well, they're only helping themselves, and they're making it harder for the other MENA teams to catch up with that team. Whereas now, if Sandrock qualify to be the LAN team, the major team in Sweden, the other MENA teams want them to finish top 8. They want them to finish high, so that more MENA teams can go. So it really does, I think, amplify the regional rivalry, and it gives it something that it's more than just bragging rights now. There's literally something on the line. There are actual quantifiable spots on the line, as well as bragging rights. So NAEU for the first time will maybe go to Worlds on uneven footing, because one region literally has more teams there than the other, because they did better throughout the year. It's just a really cool story in my opinion. But yeah, if there are any questions, just type them in the chat. I'm taking the fact that there's no questions to say that I've explained it well, which is quite surprising, but I'll take it. Lakey, thanks for the brand new prime, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, Asia Pacific and continental is APAC, because Middle East is in Asia, but they've got their own region with North Africa. You got Southern Africa, Middle East and North Africa, so that's part of Asia, part of Africa, then the rest of Asia here. And then some of Asia is also in Europe, Russia is in Europe, but it's also in Asia. It's a bit confusing. There's lots of different countries in this region that all fall in different categories. But this is the first time that every continent is represented. Yeah, it's got me super excited. I'm very, very excited to see every region. Let's see what we got here. OCE, APAC South. So yeah, there's only 3 events before that major. Top 5 go major. You know, is close. People are thinking V1 Space Station is sitting comfy 3rd, 4th. Absolutely not. Like, they've got 4 teams right behind them. And even NRG, not that comfortable. The fact that FaZe have that 1 bonus point for winning means that they're probably the only team who are quite comfortable right now. I think they could finish like 5th and they'd still make it. But other teams, nah. Gotta be making top like 4 again to get comfortable. If 8th, 9th teams are tied, what's the tiebreaker? I'm not sure. Maybe they just play. It's a good question. Are there any unknown teams from the new regions? So, OCE, the top 2 teams, Ground Zero Renegades, pretty well known, I think, to a lot of people. I expect them to be the 2 OCE teams who make it to Sweden. So not too much new there yet. Asia South. So I was actually talking to Yummy Cheeseman about this. This team is called Alki, which I think might be a mistake. I don't know why they've called themselves Alki, because Alki, where I'm from, is short for alcoholic. I'm going to struggle to say this without thinking that that's what I'm saying. So I was really hoping that they were pronounced Alki. I'm not sure if you guys have the same abbreviation where you're from, but in Scotland, Alki and Alki is an alcoholic. So I hope I can get away with calling them Alki and that they don't mind. Same in Germany, same. Oh no. So yeah, notes to Alki. Maybe you want to change your name. But this team is actually really exciting. For the first major, so let me open up this page again. Fall major. If you look at the participants, you'll see that there's a Middle East qualifier, there's 2 OCE, 2 SAM, 5 NA, 5 EU, then there's 1 APAC qualifier. So if you're wondering, okay, how is there 1 APAC qualifier but there's 2 APAC regions? There's APAC North and APAC South. Well, what that means is that whoever wins the APAC North fall split, whoever has the most points after all 3 regionals in APAC North, will play against whoever has the most points in APAC South after the fall regionals are done, and then that one team will be going to the major. Both regions, APAC North and South, get 1 spot for Worlds, but you know they're going to be fighting for the major spots amongst themselves. And this team, Alki, are actually a threat. They're definitely a threat to the Asia North, APAC North teams, because I think most people are expecting APAC North to dominate APAC South, but I think that this team have a legit shot at making an upset. Am I sick today? Yeah, I've got a pretty hoarse voice. My throat is not fully recovered, but I feel fine apart from that. And to reiterate what I said earlier on in the stream, I've done a COVID test. I don't have COVID, so I've just got a cold. If Alki's logo was a bottle, I know, right? That would be class. But yeah, this dude Max, he was popping off. He was scoring some bangers. So I think this team could be a threat. But APAC North, so Tokyo Verde, is it Verdi or Verde? That's Realize team. So they're I think they're the favourites to win it. But also shout out to Hilltop Picnic, Doomsy's team. That's right, Doomsy from England, Season 1, player from Europe for Rlcs, is now playing in Japan. He lives in Japan. And yeah, his team Hilltop Picnic are in this. No way, yes way. Doomsy is playing for this team. Is that the guy with the move named after him? Yes. That's a meme though, that's a meme. He started that as a joke and then some casters actually thought it was real. So they started saying it. It still gets used to this day. But yeah, look out for Hilltop Picnic, look out for Tokyo Verde. And yeah, look out for Alki. So I think probably one of those teams, rooting for Hilltop Picnic and Tokyo. I think they're going to be the top. One of them is going to be top team for APAC North. They're probably going to play against Alki for that one APAC spot. And it's not, I don't think it's going to be a completely free win. A lot of people think it's going to be free win for APAC North. I don't think so. I think this team's definitely got what it takes to make that competitive. And then, of course, Middle East. Ultimates are quite well known. Falcons, Sleeping. Well, everybody knows Sandrock, of course. Ahmad, Khalid, TRK. And then Ultimates is AMS, Mossin. Not sure why it doesn't say Zizonix here, because he's definitely their third player. Should say Zizonix. They're all they've been teaming together for a long time. First team to take a game off Sandrock in Middle Eastern Rock League history. They're still looking good. Currently second place. I remember the Middle East gets 2 spots for the wild card at the end of the year. So even if Sandrock completely dominate and finish first every time, that second spot is still huge. Maybe even third spot. If Sandrock can dominate enough to get a top 8 like auto qualification spot, suddenly second and third for Middle East both go wildcard. So those are massive spots. Now okay, Twiz SMW Impressive was the empty roster previously, but they've picked up Ali from Falcons and they're running with him instead of Impressive now. Very, very good team. And then Sleeping is Faisal Venom, who used to play with TRK, and Ali. Ali's left this team. He's left Faisal Venom to join Falcons with SMW Twiz Impressive. And then TRK's joined Sandrock, of course. So they picked up Fahad, the ones player. So another beast roster. 4 teams in the Middle East who are all really, really scary. Yeah, Roas is too young. Roas is not going to be 15 before the end of this season either. So we're going to need to wait for next season to see Roas and his twin brother. I think same thing with Evo from NA. I don't think he's 15 this season. Daniel, Aqua, Oski, Zen. They're my 4 current 14-year-old players who are going to be 15 this season that I've got my eye on. I think they're all going to be good. Sycamo, thanks to the 24-month tier 1. Welcome back, man. I really studied Middle East. I mean, I've watched Middle East Rocket League for a long time. I didn't need to study going into this season to know about all of these players. I knew about all of these players from the top 4 teams going into this season because I'm a big fan of Middle East Rocket League. There's also Anka. Like, let's look at the next 4 teams who made it. So, Telem is the only player who's listed active on this team. But I'm not sure who he's playing with. For the next regional, but yeah, he's a good player. Slow Gang did okay, but that might have just been one good event for them. They've not really done too much in the Middle East yet. Same thing with the Deadly Boys. You know, I don't think they're at that level yet. And Evil Esports. So yeah, probably like, I think there's enough talent right now in the Middle East for there to be 5 good teams. But quite a lot of the teams have legit substitutes. Like, out of the top 4 teams, Senzo, still a monster. He's a sub. Let's see. See who else has still got a beast sub. Yeah, Impressive. For he's kind of been subbing. It's been Venom Ali and Faisal who have been the starters. No, not Venom Ali, Faisal. It's been SMW Twiz and Ali who have been starting. Impressive is another really good sub. So we've got Senzo, Impressive. They're both really, really good sub players. Like, they could be starters. And then you've also got, I think, Telem from Anka. He's a really good player as well. So you've got enough talent in that region for there to be 5 good teams. But some of them are playing as subs right now. Yeah, Cresport, he's a good player as well. So yeah, I think probably like 5 around about 5 very good teams right now in the Middle East, usually. And then as soon as Rawas and Kalirs are 15, it's going to be, I mean, who knows how many good teams there will be by then. No North Africa team? Nah. So, out of all the regions, NA, OCE, SAM, MENA, APAC North, and Sub-Saharan Africa, all 6 of those regions are kind of dominated by one country, NA being United States of America, OCE being Australia, SAM being Brazil, MENA being Saudi Arabia, APAC North being Japan, and Sub-Saharan Africa being South Africa. All 6 of those regions are dominated by one country. And NA, you've got like a few Canadian players. You've got Turbo, who's Swedish. You've got the, you know, True Neutral boys coming up and making it a bit more diverse. But they're SAM players. You know, they've literally, like, True Neutral and Turbo have literally moved region. It's not like they, you know, started off in America. But yeah, Canada, New Zealand, you know, Chile, Argentina before Sam lost. True Neutral to NA were a bit of diversity. You know, a few Peruvian players. I think there's one player from Qatar in Middle East, North Africa, and a couple from... Was there one player from Yemen or something? I'm not sure. But yeah, those 6 regions are dominated by one country. Then you have Europe and APAC South, who are actually really diverse. So the European RLCS is obviously super diverse. You've got mostly English team, English with a Dutchman. You've got a French player, Finnish player, and an English player. EG is 2 Germans and an Austrian. Fadeaway is an Italian, a Spanish player, and a German. Full Spanish, full English. We got 1 French, 1 Belgium, 1 Spanish. I'm trying to do this off the top of my head. I'm seeing if I know them all. Monkeys is 1 Italian, 1 English, 1 Belgian, I'm going to say. SK Gaming is 1 German, 1 English, 1 Austrian. Wait, did I get one wrong? I think I said... Tell me if I got one wrong so far. Semper is 2 French, 1 English. BDS 2 French, 1 Spanish. Ooh, Quesos. This is confusing because they've got a new team now. I think they've got 2 English players and... Oh no, I've forgotten their third. I've forgotten Queso's third. I'm not looking at my chat right now because I don't want to cheat here. I'll come back to Queso. I've forgotten where their third's from. I've forgotten where Vatira's from. I'm going to guess French because everybody's French. Vitality full French, Dutchman full Dutchman, William Resolve full French. I knew Joyo Rise from Team Queso. I forgot Vatira. Oh, but I guessed it correctly. Did I just get every single nationality of every player of every team in the EU? I think I did. Oh, wait, I said... For Itachi, I said Moroccan. I was thinking, oh, that's so bad. I'm so dumb. Why did I say Spanish? I knew that. I knew that. Oh, I messed up on Matane as well. Didn't I say Belgium, but it's actually Dutch on Matane? You're right. I think I got 2 wrong. I think I got Itachi and Matane wrong. That's really dumb because I actually know where they're from. I'm such an idiot because I do know where both those people are from. I'm a clown. I said French for Itachi. Ah, that's brutal. I mean, he hangs out with all the French people. I should have thought about this though. If I paused for a second, I would have got that. I would have definitely got that. Those were easy ones. I messed up on easy ones. Still pretty happy with that. I think if I gave it some thought, I would definitely know all this. But I don't know, okay, I can't do that with... I definitely can't do that with APAC South, I'll be honest. Let's see, Alki is 1 Irish player living in Singapore, 1 Singapore player, 1 Indonesian player. So there we go, that's Singapore, Indonesia, Max, Ireland, living in Singapore, nailed it. Azure Esports, oh no. William Resolve, all French. Yeah, I knew that. I knew that they were former Atlantide Wave. That's easy. Okay, I'm already lost. Oh no. Let's just check. If I had to guess, it would be like Indonesian or something. Full Indonesia. No, it's completely wrong. It's Indian and Singapore and Yemen. Wait, Yemen? I thought that was a Middle East North Africa country. Maybe he's Yemen but lives in... yeah, he lives in Malaysia. Okay. But yeah, see the national diversity in APAC South? It's really cool. Let's click on all the top 8 and look at the national diversity in their top 8. So we've already had like loads of different countries. But yeah, there's a lot of Indonesia and a lot of Singapore. Now we've got a French player who's probably living in somewhere, Thailand. So another country. That's 1 NE. We've got Team Atelier, 2 India, 1 Singapore. Now we've got a Philippines. No, that's Thailand, sorry. And 2 Singapore. Yeah, France even in APAC, yeah. So that's Philippines. I messed it up earlier, but that's Philippines flag, I'm pretty sure. That's India flag, yep, easy. That's Malaysia. Looks like America with the sun and moon in it. And then Singapore. Singapore's got the wee star in the top left, and then Indonesia doesn't. So this is full Indonesia. All Indonesia team. And that's a full Philippines team. So there's like a lot of Philippines players, a lot of Indonesia, a lot of Thailand, a lot of Malaysia, a lot of Singapore, a lot of India. A lot of countries in APAC South. It's really, really diverse. It's awesome to see that so many different countries are now able to make RLCS. Really, really cool. But yeah. That's the teams to look out for soon. Eula28, thanks for the 32-month prime. Says, appreciate your work. Hype for RLCS. EU for the win, of course. But welcome back. Appreciate that. Yeah, Asia Rocket League is definitely a small world, but I think it'll definitely grow now that RLCS is there. Who wins the major? Probably BDS, but we'll definitely have to update that at the end of this third regional. So maybe in like a month and a half we'll have a clearer idea. But right now, like, too early prediction, BDS.